Immigration reform starts with border security. We absolutely must secure our border for many reasons. First, with the Americans that are living along the border. Second off, with the amount of fentanyl that's coming over and killing Americans all throughout our country. And third, with the amount of migrants that are drowning and dying at our border.
The district for the Congressman Tony Gonzales spans 42% of the entire border. He's joining us right now. Congressman, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Doug.
Your district, perhaps more than any other in the United States, is seeing the effects of what amounts to an open border policy, despite the protestations of many members of this administration. Most recently, the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, said the border is secure. Is it secure?
No, it's 100% not secure. And they would know that, the administration would know that if they would have spent any time in and around the border, or if they would listen to anyone who lives or works along the border, and they refuse to do any of that. You know, unfortunately, my district has been the epicenter of this border crisis. We've seen it in Del Rio a little over a year ago, these tens of thousands of Haitians under a bridge. You see it in Eagle Pass every day, hundreds. Over 1,000 actually walking right over our border, and honestly in El Paso as well. I represent about 60% of El Paso County. You're now seeing people being released into the streets. You know, today it's El Paso, tomorrow it's your city.
You know, Congressman, I'm often wary of television news reports from these particular areas because we all know, and I know from many, many years of experience working in television news, that the cameras are attracted like a moth to a flame. They go to where the action is. Give me a real-life sense of what your district is like and the practical effects of this open border policy on your constituents. What are you hearing?
Yeah, it is absolutely chaotic experience, and I will argue my district is very compassionate. We are very Christian-based district. You give the shirt off your back to somebody who needs it, and what we've seen is this compassion has turned into this humanitarian crisis. And all day, it doesn't matter what day it is, doesn't matter what time, you have people constantly coming over illegally. And the part is, you know, this administration is encouraging illegal immigration. And in my eyes, you know, border security and pro-life movement are very much the same. And because what we're seeing is we're seeing death that is occurring with this unsecure border. We're on a record historic number to see over 800 migrants perish at the border. Terrible deaths. Imagine being cooked in the back of a truck. Imagine drowning at the border. Imagine not having water and dying of dehydration in the desert. That's what this administration is encouraging.
Mm-hmm. You have said repeatedly, you've written repeatedly, I've seen it on your website, that you advocate for a compassionate approach to immigration. You don't want the border closed, as many conservatives, many Republicans do. You advocate for legalized immigration. And what do you mean by legalized immigration specifically? Take me into the weeds on that a little bit, if you would.
Of course. To me, immigration reform starts with border security. We absolutely must secure our border for many reasons. First, with the Americans that are living along the border. Second off, with the amount of fentanyl that's coming over and killing Americans all throughout our country. And third, with the amount of migrants that are drowning and dying at our border. Now, I've been advocating for legal immigration, and to me, that starts with work visas. We see vacancies, we see job vacancies in every single industry. It's no longer just agriculture. I think we can fill these vacancies by these migrants that are coming over looking for a better life. Now I'm not talking about amnesty. I think that's off the table. I'm not talking about pathway to citizenship. I think that's also off the table. I'm talking about work visas, folks that come over, work for an extended period of time, and then return back to their country of origin. Many of them are already doing that now. If there could be a way, a front door, if you will, that would encourage a legal process for people to come, and it would disincentivize those that are coming illegally. But this administration refuses to do that.
What kind of percentages of people are you talking about providing work visas to?
Yeah, I think that's where Congress should sit down and really have this discussion. And we haven't. Honestly, no one wants to have the discussion on it. But what we've seen is over 2 million people enter the country illegally. and this is unsustainable. And these people are, imagine having to live in the shadows. It's wrong all the way around. So as far as the numbers and the details of it, I think that's something that needs to be shaken out. But the reality is we have work shortages in every area. I recently traveled to the Northern Triangle. I went to Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. And you saw this administration talk about the root causes. They mentioned it one time and never reverted back to it. Well, the root causes are there. These are some of the most poorest countries in our hemisphere. You know, the president of Guatemala said, Tony, I'd much rather my people come over legally through work visas and return back to our country than being smuggled illegally.
Well, you point to these Central American countries and the route that people take. It speaks to the desperation of these people that they're willing to travel through some of those areas because they are just rife with danger, whether it's from natural causes, the jungle, the heat, the animals, or from rapists and people who want to take advantage of these people.
Doug, you're 100% right. You know, many of these people are fleeing hell, and then they're going through hell to get to the United States, and then their hell isn't over. Even once they're here, they're having to live in the shadows, and then cartels continue to prey on them once in the United States. It's wrong all the way around. That's why I don't understand why this administration will continually encourages this. Right? This has to stop in all aspects of it. Innocent, many of these people are innocent, and they're just trying to seek a better life for themselves. But in the process, they're being exploited every step of the way, and many of them are dying.
Congressman, one last question. Keep it quick if you can, because I'm exceeding my time here. But you've seen the effects of Greg Abbott's plan in practice now of shipping many of these migrants to Democratic cities, and the protestations from Democratic mayors saying we don't want them here. What's your reaction to that?
Yeah, these other cities are getting a small taste of what we're dealing with in Texas. Honestly, I think the approach is wrong, though. We should be shipping people back to their country of origin that do not qualify for asylum. This stops by one simple thing: enforcing the laws that are already on the books.
Congressman Tony Gonzales, really appreciate your time, sir. Thanks very much. Hi, I'm Doug McKelway, and thank you for watching Centerpoint. We hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you're notified every time a new video is posted. Leave a comment below and keep the conversation going by sharing this video with a friend who needs to see it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow.